Chris Wylie, this is now an argument, obviously, between you and AIQ, and it's going to have to be resolved by the Select Committee itself.
Sure.
We should say that of all these, I mean, I think 80 million Facebook accounts might have been used in this way, Mark Zuckerberg now says.
87.
87 million, of which about 1 million only could be British. It's quite a jump to say that of that 1 million, you know, large numbers of people changed their minds in the referendum. Right. And therefore the referendum is corrupt or has been corrupted.
So we have to parse out two issues. So first of all, one of the things that we have to look at is that was 1 million British records in 2014. So what that shows is that there were misappropriated British Facebook records in 2014, which leads me to argue that actually this should be further investigated because that's quite a serious matter. Secondly, when we're talking about corruption in the referendum, you also have to look at the fact that Vote Leave spent 40% of their budget on AIQ, the same company that was involved in this entire Cambridge Analytica scheme, and that they used AIQ as a funding vehicle with lots of different campaigns.
As I say, that's being done by the Electoral Commission. Can I just ask you?
Well, but it's a key point. It's a key point because that is the crux of
Commission look at that.
Well, but the point that I'm making is that actually this is far more serious than just the Electoral Commission. You have to understand that we have a hard day. We have a hard day. If you let me explain.
We're running out of time.
Right, but this is the actual crux of what I'm saying.
Okay.
So if you look at the fact that you had several other campaigns that were receiving money from Vote Leave, and that those campaigns then also used aggregate IQ, there is something in this country called anti-coordination rules in electoral law.
So it breaks the law.
You cannot spend money on other campaigns and coordinate with them. And the question that I'm raising is, were these other campaigns that Vote Leave was putting money into coordinating with Vote Leave using AIQ? They say no. But when you actually look at the three binders of evidence, when you look at the three binders of evidence that I've sent both to the committee and to the Electoral Commission, there are emails, there are documents, there are screenshots that show that there was a deep relationship between.
People watching can't see all this kind of stuff. I want to ask you one final question quickly, which is if the Select Committee, if the Select Committee says Chris Wylie is right about that, these connections are proved, what follows from that? Are you really suggesting the referendum should be rerun in somehow? We should forget 2016 and do it all over again?
So what I'm saying, and I say this as somebody who supported Leave, I'm saying this as a Eurosceptic myself, but this is a fundamental change to the constitutional settlements of Britain, the foundational law of Britain. And what I'm saying is that if we can't go back from Brexit, if this is a one-time decision, we need absolute clarity that the decision made by the British people was made fairly and compliant with the law. And so if that means that we have to go back to the British people and ask for a clarification, I think the British people should have a say and make sure that what we're doing is with the consent of people. That's what I'm saying. I want a democratic mandate for Brexit. That's what I'm saying.